you guys can hear me better. So generally, we go over paperwork, we go over videos, and we go over lawsuit paperwork. But today we're going to be doing something a little bit different just because in my last stream last week, I was trying to talk about the case going on with Black China and Kim Kardashian, but a lot of my audience and the people that were in the chat are very concerned about the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp trial. So I thought that I would do a live stream today, just kind of going over what is happening in the Johnny Depp trial and getting your opinion, my subscribers' opinions on what is happening there. But before we get into all of that, I am almost at 4,000 subscribers. So if you are not yet subscribed to me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like my content, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you are here watching on the live stream, make sure you hit the like button. And if you're watching on the replay, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button and comment down below that you are part of the replay crew. So, for those of you who do not know, Johnny Depp is currently suing his ex-wife Amber Heard for defamation. Why is he suing for defamation? Because he is claiming that she lied when she said that she is a survivor of domestic violence. Now, you may be thinking that may not be such a big deal, but because she did not name him, however, she referred to a time frame in which she would have been in a relationship with him. So Johnny Depp went ahead and sued her for defamation. All right, so we got a chat coming in. We have Who Said Kate. Hey, Boss Bri. Hey, welcome to the live stream. It is good to see you again. And we have Rich D. Rosa. Hey, Bri, homesick with COVID, just popping in to say hi. Well, thank you for stopping by while you have COVID. I definitely appreciate the love and the view. So I hope you feel better soon. Okay. So I'm not sure if you guys have been keeping up with the case. I know the people that were on the live stream on Thursday or Tuesday definitely was keeping up with the case and had a lot of opinions on what is happening in the case. So you guys can go ahead and start dropping your opinions about the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case because this is going to be more of a casual stream. I'm going to be going over your comments a lot, so I definitely want to hear what you have to say. Now, I am a lawyer and I do run my own law practice, so I have not been watching the trial every second of every day, and I'm not fully caught up with everything that Amber Heard has been saying, but we're going to get into a little bit of it just to rate and things like that. But to me, if that's her personality and she just exaggerates in general, I think that could be very unfavorable for the jury, but we don't know if they're feeling the same way as we are feeling while we're watching on the internet. So the purpose of this live stream was to talk to the chat, see what they thought about the situation. However, I know quite a few people are still live streaming over on LawTube. So there's a lot of information being passed out over there. And I was hoping to get some chats about your opinions on the actual Johnny Depp trial. So if you guys are watching live, go ahead and drop in the chat box what you think so far about the Johnny Depp trial and what do you think about Amber Heard's testimony so far. Like I said at the beginning of the live stream, I have not watched all of her testimony, but I did catch a glimpse at the last part of her testimony today. I believe she has been testifying for about a day and a half. And then next week, the court will be on a break. So she has a whole nother week to kind of gather herself and prepare herself to come back to court and then also to be on cross-examination. So I think that is going to be beneficial to her because she won't be going straight through kind of like Johnny Depp did. Now, I want to talk about some of the stuff that she talked about today, which included the Australia incident where Johnny Depp cut off his finger. I didn't get all the way into that. A lot of people think that Amber Heard is responsible for it. Amber Heard is claiming that Johnny Depp cut off his own finger. So I would really love to know what you guys think about the whole Australia situation. Did Johnny Depp cut off his own finger, or was it a fight between Amber and Johnny, or did Amber cut off Johnny's finger? The next thing that I wanted to get into was the fight on December 15th. And I think that this is very important to Amber Heard's case because Johnny did not really give a lot of evidence about what actually happened in that fight. Maybe he did, but from me watching the live streams when I was able to catch it, I really didn't hear anything about that fight. And Amber Heard did give a lot of detail about the fight. This is where she's saying she had all these bruises. Johnny dragged her up and down the stairs. Johnny pushed her sister down the stairs. And this is where it's kind of getting difficult. It's really hard for me to listen to her testimony, honestly, just because everything just comes off as super fake. Like she is just kind of making things up as she goes, or that she made this story up and she's sticking to it and she's practiced it a lot. All right. We have Harper Polo saying hello, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you again. And we have I need to know how to say your name. Twana D. I'm a therapist, and she is definitely is that bipolar depression or yes? Can you explain what BPD is? From Harper Polo says she's definitely embellishing the stories, and that's how I feel. But a part of me also feels like that can potentially just be her personality, just because Johnny Depp did describe her as always exaggerating. So I would assume that might just be her personality. Maybe there may be parts of her story that is not true. I will agree with that. But I think some of the incidences may have occurred, but they may not have occurred exactly how she is saying that it occurred. Okay, I couldn't think of it, but it is the borderline personality disorder. Twana says they are just toxic, and that is what I'm going to get into a little later on. But yes, BPD is by borderline personality disorder. That is the other one. I just couldn't think of the name at that moment. So for all of us that did not know what BPD was, is borderline personality disorder. I don't know all the symptoms and not qualifications, but I'm not a medical person here, but I don't know all the things that are required to be diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, but it did sound like her doctor already diagnosed her with that. So yes, I think that it makes sense of why it seems like she's just making these stories up as she goes. Okay, we have Rich DeRosa. Welcome. Fake. That's why she will lose. The jury will see him. So even if some of what she says is true, it won't matter. I am on that line with you as well, Rich, just because everything she says just sounds like it's embellishment. Even if she's squeezing teeny tiny pieces of the truth in there, all the extra details that she's getting, she always finds a way to kind of bring up that, oh, we were walking down the street, or no, not walking down the street. We were in the apartment and Johnny was making a glass of wine and then I saw Coke bags. It's just like, wait a minute. We're not even talking about that. But she always finds a way to try to throw in details about why Johnny is a bad person because he does drugs, which I do not think, honestly, is a very strong argument. It kind of seems like she's trying to say, oh, Johnny does drugs, therefore he is an abuser. Or Johnny does drugs, therefore he doesn't remember that he abused me. But I don't think it's a really strong argument. I think she really needs to tie it together a little better of, okay, every time he's on drugs, he beat me, he did this, he did that. But I don't think she has enough information to do that, enough detail to do that correctly. And a lot of the times the stories that she is telling are very we're kind of confused on the timeline of when all of this stuff happened. So I think that's also going to hurt her in the case. But yes, all of the embellishments make it hard to believe her. The only issue that a lot of people on LawTube are seeing is that the jury may not have that close of a connection with her as we do, just because the jury is kind of sitting off to the side versus us looking directly at her with the camera. The jury is probably not sitting close enough to see that when she scrunches up her face and pretends to cry, that there are no tears. So it's very possible that the jury might believe her, especially if there are people that look like her there and they say, oh, I can sympathize with her. But I find it Very unlikely. Okay, we have Tanya. Okay, that makes so much sense. Thank you for giving me your the pronunciation of your name. We have Maddie B. Hello, welcome to the live stream. I'm gonna show some love. Here's my problem. If I was a juror, I would definitely hang her because her story sounds made up in order to harm him. Yes, I definitely agree with you there. The way that she's telling the story, it's either that she's way over rehearsed or she's just a dramatic person or she's lying. But none of those things are very positive attributes. They're not things that a jury would like if they can figure the thing out. If they really think that she's being sincere, then it could benefit her. But the way I take it, and like I said, I'm not constantly watching. I'm popping in and I'm popping out. But every time I pop in, she just comes off as disingenuous. Even before she took the stand, even while Johnny Depp and his witnesses were testifying, the mannerisms that she was using, the movements, the eyes, the way that she was looking just seemed like she was faking it. Like when she would get sad, it just didn't feel real to me. All right. And we have Tanya saying, hence the disorder. Yes, I agree with you there. I will need to know more about what's required for the disorder. But yeah, her personality is just not, it's not it. Okay. Well, I wouldn't say her personality because I don't know her personally, but what she's given is just not it. Okay, we have Rich D. Rosa saying, think of it as someone who desperately wants to be loved but cannot tolerate being loved. Borderline personality disorder. I can see that. Just because, and I think that this comes up a lot where people will say, oh, well, it was mutual abuse. There's always going to be a primary abuser, but at the same time, you may be dealing with two people that are just toxic. And that's the way that I'm seeing it right now because I do practice family law as well. So I deal with a lot of domestic violence restraining orders through the family law. And most of the time, there is bad evidence on both sides because when you're in a relationship with someone and they hurt you and you try not to hurt them back, but sometimes it happens to where one person is just super verbally abusive and then the other one is more physically abusive. So it could be the person speaking said something volatile to them, and a lot of people are saying that they do not think that Johnny Depp was abusive in this situation. However, whatever the jury instruction that they give them is really going to matter of how they're going to decide what abuse is. But normally abuse can include verbal, emotional, just intimidation. Someone walking through their apartment, throwing things, breaking cabinets, all of those things can come off as intimidation. So I wouldn't say that Johnny is completely innocent in this situation. I think that a jury could find that he abused her. Maybe they won't find that he actually hit her, but they may find that he emotionally abused her. He disturbed her peace, is what they would call it, which is probably why she was able to get a restraining order. And I believe that restraining order was in California. And disturbing the peace, making someone mentally uncomfortable, does count as abuse. However, I do not think that Amber is innocent in this situation. I think that she might be the more physical abuser, while Johnny might hurt things and say things. I think Amber is the one that kind of tries to jump on him because in her head, she might feel like he can't attack her back. So that's just my opinion on the situation. I think that they did have a relationship and they had some love, but they didn't know how to love each other. So I agree with Rich here. All right. Says Rich says I'm a master in psychology. That makes sense. I like the analysis. Maddie A. I said Maddie B earlier, but Mad 8 says her testimony makes me angrier as she goes. I didn't really know anything before the trial. I am the same way. I don't really keep up with that celebrity. I don't really keep up with Johnny Depp. I've just really started hearing about it since I joined with LawTube, learning what's happening in the case. And so I'm not able to keep up every day because I have client work and things. So I pop in and I pop out. And yes, I can agree with you. Everything she says is very like, it's okay, and then it escalates, and then it escalates, and then it escalates, and I can see how people will become angry, especially if you do not believe what she's saying. All right, we have UNC College Girl. I am a woman's woman, but a black woman first. And in the back of my mind, I keep thinking white women tears are life ending. I can definitely hear you saying that. I've seen a couple comments and a couple live streams that made similar references, which also comes to the issue of false accusations. Not pointing any fingers, but a lot of times when those false accusations do come out, it does involve white women. And a lot of times we are meant to, or we have to believe them first. While on this occasion, we're not believing her first. And maybe since it's against another white man, I don't know. But I don't know if it's really white woman tears, but she just comes off as just completely disingenuous. And I think that she would be getting a worse rap if she was black, if I had to tell the truth. And we have UC or UNCC college girl says it does not feel credible. Something just doesn't sit right. I pray they both receive healing through. Though, yes, I definitely agree with you. It to me, it sounds like they both were a little toxic, to tell you the truth, and either one of them can be found as domestic violence, the perpetrator of domestic violence. Of course, we would have to be there to see like who was starting things. Was Johnny just kind of trying to restrain her if she attacked him, or was she trying to restrain him if he attacked her? We don't know. But from the story that's going on, and the cussing and the throwing and the wine and everything else, it seems like it was just a toxic relationship, if you ask me. And that's just off of my perspective of dealing with domestic violence restraining orders on a daily basis. All right. We have Zen saying, hey, what's up, boss? Hello. Welcome back to the live stream. It's nice to see you here. And we have UNCC college girl saying the whole he was a creeper, but I married him. Yes, yesterday. I was just like, why? And I did not like how she kept saying, oh, I was 22. I was 23. I was 25. And he was double my age. She kept saying that in the beginning of her testimony yesterday to make it seem like Johnny Depp was a creep. And I just found that very disturbing. And you knew what you were doing. You knew he was double your age. So don't try to make it seem like, oh, he was such a creep now and you still married him. Maybe you were a fangirl. Who knows? But at the end of the day, you can't try to make him seem like a creep when when you ended up marrying him. Now, what I would say is a little creepy, if this is truly what Johnny Depp did call Amber Heard, is that he referred to her as kid. That is a little weird to me. That would have turned me off. I would have been like, you're a little weird. But she didn't think he was weird enough not to marry him. So that's that. Okay, Tanya says, I don't think they will agree with her because it's too hard to keep everything in order. I need it. Yes, that is how their what do you call it? Her attorney also questioned that way too. They just jumped around in the timeline. We were in 2016, then we were in 2013, then 2015, 2014. It was all over the place. So maybe they took their notes from Amber Heard, and that's how all their questioning got all mixed up. Or maybe it's a tactic to confuse the jury to be like, oh, we don't even know when all of this stuff happened. She must have thought he was a good guy when she first got with him. And now all of a sudden he's a bad guy. So I think the whole timeline mixing up situation, I think they're doing that on purpose to be as vague as possible to kind of make it seem like Johnny Depp just started beating her out of nowhere. All right, we have Zinz. Everybody on the internet is always right. Even when they're wrong, they're still right because it's the internet. I feel like that happens a lot. And you get your own platform, so you can really say whatever you want. As long as you're not defaming anyone, you can give your opinion. UNCC college girl says, none of those pictures matched up to her retelling. Like, I was amazed that was the proof. We mentioned that on the live stream over on Legal Bites channel. I said that it didn't make sense because she said that Johnny Depp hit her in the face, he dragged her, he pulled her by the hair, but the only picture she had was some very vague pictures of her just looking tired and sad, and then she had a busted lip, which Nurse Liz did mention that in her experience, that mark that was on her lip looked like it came from someone biting their own lip. Now, we don't know if that's what actually happened, but for a nurse to say in her experience that's what she's seen, or that's what she would think it was, I'm going to lean more towards with Nurse Liz. It doesn't, Nurse Liz, it doesn't look like someone punched her in the face, but then again, I'm not a nurse, so I'm just, I agree with Nurse Liz, but also I don't have the qualifications to say that that is a fact, okay? So, yes, I would assume that if she was dragged, beat, slapped, whatever else she said happened to her, then she would have a lot more bruises on her body, not just her face, unless he was only hitting her in her face, but that didn't sound like that was the case. And it wouldn't be hard for bruises to show on her, and that's what I would think, but I don't know because I don't have the same type of skin as her. Rich D. Rosa says, bro, you would see the pattern of toxicity in his previous relationships. Did he have issues with his ex-wife? Were there abuse there? Or is this like, I don't keep up with Johnny Depp, so I don't know if he has all these toxic things going on. But with the heavy implication that he did use a lot of drugs and alcohol, it could definitely lead to toxic relationships like this. So I agree with you there, Rich. Helene Havis, I think. She's so toxic. It's over the top. She's working on glass, but she don't have something to show. Why take pictures of the room, but not your injuries? I don't know. I think I might have missed the pictures about the room, but I did just watch some testimony of her saying that on the December 15th fight, when they got into it, Johnny Depp destroyed Penthouse 5, and it included all of her clothing racks being knocked over and thrown down the stairs. Why did she not take pictures of that as well? Because she recorded Johnny Depp every time he was in a bad position. So why not record that as well? That's just my opinion. And her injuries that she showed, they just didn't line up with what she was claiming. All right, we have bro. MMCPA says Amber Heard was so dry, I couldn't believe a word. I thought she was pretty animated. I think she was pretty exaggerated, but maybe it's because I watch it on like 2x speed. She seems a little more animated, but if you say she's dry, I just got to take it for what you're saying. Mad 8 says, here's another issue I noticed. She never really has a specificity. I cannot say that word. Specificity to her story. It sounds kind of like make your own decision on how any of it started. Yes, that is very true. I have noticed that as well. She just kind of starts. There was one of the like, he was chasing me and somehow we ended up upstairs. Okay, why was he chasing you? What started him chasing you? They just said, what happened on this night? Oh, he was chasing me. For what? Like what how did it escalate to him chasing you? Did he just walk into the house and just start chasing you? I don't know. It just doesn't sound believable. So I'll have to agree with you there. Zim said, disturbing somebody's peace by not being violent to people. This is the definition of violence by caring. For like throwing things and intimidate. If he's not throwing them towards her, then I will agree with you. But if you are throwing things around someone and kind of like yelling and slamming things and things like that, that could be considered disturbing the peace, especially in family law restraining order situations. The burden is very low to prove domestic violence. Very, very low. We're pondering the evidence, okay? You just have to say, hey, he threw this glass right here. Here's the picture of it. This was the context of the conversation. And a lot of times judges will grant that restraining order. So I'm sorry, but yes, disturbing the peace is a thing. UNCC College Girl, thank you guys for all the interaction. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, that walking on glass was insane. Like, ma'am, you made him coffee. How are you able to walk, let alone sleeping through the pain? Yeah, a lot of people mentioned that over on Legal Bites as well, too. I missed that part of the testimony, but yeah, a lot of people stated that it will be very hard to walk after stepping on glass. I've never stepped on glass, but I have had a toothpick stuck in my foot before, and that was pretty painful. And that was just one toothpick. So I can only imagine what stepping on a lot of glass would be like. All right. Zim says it only counts as abuse if you are words we don't use on this channel. She says she called him that before, so I guess, and I think you're referring to the disturbing the peace. If I get mad and slam my own cupboards, um, that's not abuse in any way. If it is, I might as well be or I might as well slam a bee instead of the cupboard. No, don't do that. But I really think it depends on what state you are in. In California, doing stuff like that, if it's constant and it's directed at the person, or like, let's say you're saying, oh, you dumb bee, and then you're slamming the cabinet. It's like, I wish this could be you. That would be considered disturbing the peace. Or constantly yelling at somebody, saying maybe you're going to leave them, maybe you're going to hurt them, anything like that, it can be considered disturbing the peace. But I'm sorry you don't agree with disturbing the peace being actual abuse. Should I get in the same amount of trouble for punching a cupboard or a girl? It's a simple question. Now, you probably wouldn't have a hard or as long of a sentence as a criminal domestic violence. But if we're talking about family law domestic violence, just like a domestic dispute where you're not actually pressing charges, then yes, you technically do get in the same amount of trouble. The only difference would be is that you might get less time under the restraining order. So in California, you can have a restraining order from 6 months all the way up to 5 years. So let's say you are just slamming the cupboards and you get the restraining order, and then you guys move out, your restraining order will likely be 6 months, 1 year. But if you actually punch a person, then you're looking more at the 5 years. They'll have more proof. All right, sorry for the bad language. The point still stands, though. I definitely understand. This whole disturbing the peace and verbal and emotional abuse is still kind of new, so it's very hard to determine. And disturbing, what do you call it? Disturbing the peace also includes like financial abuse as well. So we have Tanya saying, I peeped earlier that Amber bites her lip today while testifying. She does bite her lip a lot. So that may be where that mark came from. Rich says, no, I don't know what you're referring to there. His ex has been vocal. Been vocal about what? That there was abuse or there was no abuse? Because like I said, I didn't keep up with this before this case happened, and I don't have enough time to go back through everything and still work and make money. All right. Also, I worked in child abuse, and a bruise lasts at least 7 days. Yeah, the picture she showed versus the abuse she claimed, it just doesn't add up, in my opinion. All of her stories were so drawn out, says MMCPA. Yes, they were, but she is on direct, so that makes sense. I anticipate that she's not going to be able to keep her composure on cross-examination when Johnny Depp's attorneys start to question her. I think that she's going to get very snappy and very aggressive. So if they have a pretty aggressive attorney going after her, I don't think she'll be able to keep her cool. All right. Dacious, I think I'm saying that right. There was definitely some discrepancies in her story. She said she was going up the stairs, and then Johnny read ahead of her and dragged her up the stairs. Then he whispered in her ear while kneeling on her. Yeah, I think that she does kind of add so many details that they come off as they're not correct. And one thing that I did notice that she says, oh, I may not be able to tell you the exact sequence of things. She makes sure to say that, because that way, if she flips some things around, then she's thinking that, oh, it's okay, I just mixed it up. Like I said, I can't tell you the exact sequence. So, but I can definitely see how that can be confusing, and that how a jury might not like that. All right, and so we have UNCC college girl saying, I know this has been brought up, but if she was beaten, why not turn the proof over? That was the proof, the pictures. I don't understand why they would withhold, or are they waiting for a gotcha moment? This is her gotcha moment. She needs to get that out right now, because it will stick with the jury. Right now, the stuff that she's showing, the fact that she showed up on TV the next day, is making it look like she really does not have anything to show the jury. It's just these kind of flat pictures of her just, like I said, looking tired, or maybe a light makeup to make her look tired. Like her bruising, the way she's saying that Johnny beat her, it should have a lot more bruises, and she should have probably scratches on her arms, anything more than just that sad blank expression that she posted as a photo, in my opinion. Okay, Zen says, yeah, I know the burden of proving domestic violence is very low. All you have to do is be a girl and say that you were afraid and you win, even though nothing bad happened to you. I wouldn't say it's that easy. Sometimes judges are very favorable. You know what? You may be right on that. Because I recently had a domestic violence against a girl, and the judge decided not to do a restraining order. However, like I said, they both were back and forth, toxic. We're together, we're not together. He's sending harassing texts, she's sending harassing texts. It goes both ways, so I could see why that one wasn't granted. But I do think typically it is a little bit easier for a woman to get a restraining order, especially because a lot of women are smaller than men, so they might have a little upper hand there. Okay. Upsetty Spaghetti, I like the name, says it seems to have a lot of unnecessary details added in to me. I definitely agree with that. Like the bit about the carpet being dirty yesterday. Yes, that it was like an unnecessary detail, and then she stuck on it. Like I didn't understand that the carpet was dirty, and I had never noticed that it was dirty before. And how dirty. I'm like, okay, get to the point. He slapped you to the ground. How did he slap you off the couch to your knees on the ground? I don't understand how we got to this point. So yes, she does definitely like hang on details that are like unnecessary. The floor was dirty. You guys could probably hire a maid. Okay. So it felt almost like a monologue to me. It's definitely a monologue. She's on direct, and we got to remember Johnny had his monologues as well. Okay. UNCC college girl says, "Listen, I'm crying, stepping on a darn Lego." And I feel you on that. The parents hate the Legos. Oh no, no, no! And then you're talking about stepping on glass and making coffee. Yeah, highly. And where are the doctor reports for these things? She broke her nose. Where's the doctor report? And maybe I missed it because like I said, I've been popping in and out, but I don't think she showed anything about having a broken nose. And do they put like a little cast on your nose when you break your nose? I never broke my nose. I don't know anyone that has broken their nose, but I do see people with like a little. Would it be a cast? Something on their nose holding it back together. Yes. Okay. I don't know if that's something, but why didn't she have one of those if her nose was broken? And where's the doctor report of it? Okay, Zook says the point I was trying to make is that if I'm going to get arrested for punching a cupboard because somebody lied, I might as well prove them right. A lot of people feel like that, honestly. A lot of people feel like that. I don't blame you for feeling like that, but if you do, you have to face the consequences. Now, let's think about it. If someone lies and say you punched something and you didn't, then it will be very hard to prove. But if you actually do it, then they can prove it if they have the pictures. If you end up breaking the cupboard or whatever. So here we have Jack Matt. Hello, welcome to the live stream. I think Amber will be good for a fatal attraction too. Yes, they come. I'm not even saying just Amber. The relationship sounds like it was fatal attraction. Okay, so they needed to separate. Honestly, um, like I said, it didn't sound like a very healthy relationship, and I just can't. Honestly, to me, I feel like I can't tell who was the primary aggressor, but I do feel like they both played a little role in these little spats that they have had, which I think is normal. I think that's normal. It just shouldn't escalate to the point of what it did. I think Amber. Oh yeah, you already read that one. Matt 8 says, "I was on Law and Crimes chat to see what they were saying, and even that chat wasn't believing her story." Okay, so it's just not me. I think yesterday, LawTube was a little split about if she's telling the truth, if she's believable. But I think today, a lot more people were like, "No, the jury can no way believe this." But again, that they may have a different atmosphere inside of the courtroom. Okay, Zim says, anyway, when I get pissed off, I mostly punch things like cupboards and windows and men. I've hit a few women, but never really closed fists. Well, I would suggest that you stop hitting the women. Don't do that anymore. Don't hit the men either. Or the windows. You can everything that you're hitting could really hurt yourself. Maybe you should join like a boxing class where you can hit like the punching bag. But I understand being in the moment and getting angry in the moment. But I would refrain from hitting things if I were you. Let's avoid getting in trouble. UNCC college girl says, Bree, what do you think of Amber Heard's closing statement? What do you think her closing statement should include for her to win? At this point, like I said, I haven't listened to all of the evidence, but I do think that they are going to have to tie things up in an appropriate timeline. Like a lot of you have been saying, everything is just kind of all over the place. They're going to need to tie it up in an accurate timeline and actually say, like, hey, I was not abusive. I was just protecting myself. However, um, yeah, she has to say that Johnny was the abusive one. And I think that she has been given a lot of testimony that he was actually the abusive one. But how she ties it together is going to be the most important part. And especially if she wants to tie in the drugs and all of those things in there, she's going to have to make it make sense. Like every time he abused me, he did this drug. Or every time he abused me, he did that drug. And that way she will win. If the jury even believes one of her stories of Johnny Depp hitting her, she has not defamed him because she did survive domestic violence. Now, should the jury just find that she survived a toxic relationship? I would lean more towards that, but we'll see what else comes out. She has a couple more days of testifying, and there's about 2 more weeks left in the trial, and we get a whole break or a whole week of break next week. So she'll have time to regroup, get herself together, and be ready for this cross examination. But as far as winning, the jury just needs to believe one of those stories. So MMCPA says, I feel like if someone was doing what she did to Johnny, that she said Johnny Depp did, she would be able to remember in relative good order, but she can remember weird details. Yeah, she can't remember like the actual altercations, but she can remember that the carpet was dirty or that she walked by and saw empty Coke bags. Like it's just random things that she's remembering while she's supposed to be in a brawl, according to her. So yes, I agree with you there. UNCC girl says she's a petite girl. With the way she says he literally dragged her, she should have been in the hospital. Yes, and if she broke her nose, she should have went to the hospital. If she had black eyes, she probably should have went to the hospital. If she was drugged on the floor and she said Johnny Depp broke the bed, I don't know if she said while she was on it or while she was next to it. How come she has no scratches, no blood, no nothing, nothing? And I don't know if you guys saw when they showed the picture of her face, and the attorney tried to circle on her face to show where the bruise was, but it got objected to. But even the attorney knew that you could not see that bruise because she felt the need to have to circle it so that the jury will be able to see it. So yeah, I don't think her injuries and no arnica cream, whatever it's called, is good enough to cover up a bruising on a white person. I'm sorry. Maybe on a black person we can get away with it because we have darker makeup, but I don't know any like white makeup that will really cover that stuff up. So we have Pedro Humanist Skeptic. Hi, first time here. Well, welcome to the live stream. I'm glad that you have joined me over here. Zint says you only get a little cast on your nose if you go to the hospital for it. Most people who break their nose don't go to the hospital. Okay, so that will be favorable to Amber Heard. She should produce some evidence to say that. I wouldn't know because I never broke my nose before. Back again for the 3P. Okay, Chaz, nice to see you. I definitely appreciate the dedication. Loving it. All right, Mad 8 says, all I know is she's the kind of woman I stayed away from. I don't play that putting hands on people game. I'll go to jail for real. Nope. That is a good way to think of it. Just try to avoid it as much as you can, because some of us cannot control our anger. But if you are the bigger person and are able to walk away, I think that is a very good quality to have. All right, Zip says somebody who doesn't want to deal with a minor injury just put something on their nose real quick to get you out of there so they can deal with as that matters. I can see how that can happen with hospitals. I've never broken anything, so I wouldn't know what to go to the hospital for. Okay, Chad says, I heard a term, the pendulum swings in legal bites today. Do you know what that means? I think they may be talking about like the way that the law will fall, but honestly, I would probably need to go to my law school notes to refresh myself on. But I know that is a term that I learned in law school. I just don't remember at this moment. All right. So we have UNCC College Girl. I saw this question pop in Legal Bites, but will the legal team do mock cross examination for Camille during the bye week, or is it more research for questioning? I don't know exactly who Camille is. Like I said, I haven't really been keeping up with everything, but it is possible that they will do a practice. Wait, you said will the legal team? The only legal, if this is what do you call it? If it's Johnny Depp's, I mean not Johnny Depp's, Amber Heard's witness, then Johnny Depp's legal team probably wouldn't be cross-examining her during the bye week because Amber Heard's team wouldn't let that happen unless there's a court order for it. They wouldn't be able to do that. UNCC girl says, or college girl says, laughing my A off, definitely would be able to use the magic cream on a black person. You think it would work on a black person? I'm saying just like regular darker makeup. You can cover it up, some concealer, your regular foundation, maybe a little contour, and then your regular foundation on top. It's some color correcting things you can, but not. I don't see it happening with the color that Amber is. Zinz, I've never had a broken nose either, but I broke a few, and most of them don't go to the hospital. Yeah, I believe you, but I think that it will be very beneficial for Amber Heard to put on some testimony of that because I'm ignorant. I don't know that, so there may be people on the jury that's like, well, why didn't she go to the hospital? So she should present evidence. This is why I didn't go to the hospital, and why I was on TV talking the next day. You can still pretty much function with a broken nose, I guess, but you can tell when someone has a broken nose. I feel like that is very true. A lot of people were commenting on Legal Bites that when you have a broken nose, it's a lot of bruising. You might be able to see the shift of where it's broken at. Like I said, I don't deal with broken nose, so I don't know exactly all the telltale signs of it, but a lot of people did mention that we would be able to see if her nose was really broken. Tanya says she kept saying she couldn't feel any of the. Yes, she did. She did say she couldn't feel the pain when she was hit. I wonder if it was from her being high or drunk on red wine because she really liked red wine. And she did with the red wine, she covered that really quickly in the beginning of her testimony that they both liked red wine. So we wouldn't think that she was a wine alcoholic. But yes, she did keep saying that whenever Johnny hit her, it wasn't painful. So maybe that's why her bruises weren't that bad, because maybe Johnny Depp doesn't hit that hard, according to Amber Heard. Emmett Mitch, welcome to the live stream. You may not go to the hospital for a broken nose, but the swelling and the stopped up sinuses would be noticeable for at least a couple of days. And she did an interview the following day. That is what a lot of people are pointing out. I would only imagine that if your nose was swollen, if you break your nose, it's most likely going to be swollen. And you breathe through your nose, and you need to breathe when you talk. So yeah, I would think that it would affect her. And from what it looked like on the interview, it didn't seem like a broken nose interview, honestly. Like that she had a broken nose. Rich DeRosa says, They're talking about me too. Who's talking about that? Chad says, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but is there a switch jury with this trial? No, there shouldn't be a switch jury. If I think, I don't know what you might be for the pendulum. That's for Rich said that. Chaz, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Um, for the pendulum, I don't know. I told you guys I got to look at my notes for the pendulum. UNCC College Girl says she's the lawyer who will be running cross examination. Oh, okay. Camille, I think that's who you were talking about. For Johnny's side on Amber. Yeah, I highly doubt that she will be able to do that. They're not gonna let her. They're not going to let Johnny Depp's team get to their witnesses. Johnny Depp will have to get like a court order to be able to do that. If Amber Heard's team allows that without a court order, she probably should fire them immediately, because you don't want her to already know the answers that Amber is going to give. Is going to give her more of an opportunity to come up with different questions to make Johnny Depp's side better. So no, I don't think Amber Heard's team will fall for that without a court order, and I don't think there's a court order. All right, Mad 8 said, here's another thing. She claims to have lived with people that abuse drugs. Then she's acting like a person going through withdrawals is a new thing that she never seen before. What? Yes, I didn't see that part of the testimony, but I think she's really trying to use the whole drugs thing as a way to say, oh, he did drugs, therefore he's an abuser. When that's not necessarily always the case. Drugs does not always lead to violence. I can see why she's trying to make that inference. She might be hoping that there's someone on the jury that says, "Hey, I had an alcoholic uncle, and he always punched my dad." I think she's trying to make people think that, but they're not tying it together all the way. As far as the drugs go, I missed that testimony, so I really can't comment all the way on that one. So I'm sorry about that. Emmett Mitch says someone who makes a living with her face would definitely go to the hospital to figure out what she needs to do, right? How is the swelling going to go down faster? How do I get this to be fixed faster? Do I need surgery? So I can agree with you there, Emmett. However, since she was so good at makeup, maybe she didn't need to go to the hospital because no one could tell her nose was broke because she was so good at using amethyst. All right, UNCC College Girl says, oh, Tanya, now that's interesting. I can't remember what we're talking about there, but let's move on. Chad says, where do you stand with what you've heard so far? Honestly, I think that they can find that Johnny was an abuser in this situation, depending on the jury instruction that they give for the definition of what abuse is. I think that they can find it just based off of my DV cases. However, if the definition is different, if the burden of proof is different here in this case, I think if they don't find him as an abuser, I think that Johnny Depp can still win just because Amber Heard is so unlikable, but we don't know what the jury looks like, who they might trust, if they're more leaning towards Amber Heard. It's really going to depend on the jury. Rich DeRosa says, I heard the term pendulum swings and legal bites. I think I already read that one. Do you know what that means? They are referring to the Me Too movement. With the pendulum swing, yeah, I have no idea what that's referring to, but I can definitely look into it and maybe ask. All right, we have, yeah, that's exactly what she's trying to do. Yes. And we have S. Ray says, Boss Attorney, not a professional name. You don't like my name? It's not meant to be professional. It's a YouTube channel. I'm sorry that it offends you. All right. S. Ray, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry that it offends you, but it's meant to be an entertainment channel. All right, Chad says, in regards to the jury, I'm hearing that possibly some of them may be switched out during the decision-making process. Really? I haven't heard that yet. I would have to look into that to see why that's happening. I know there's alternate jurors that sit in to kind of hear the trial just in case one of the jurors are not able to finish the trial. But switching out during the decision-making process seems a little odd to me. All right. Zen says, if you can cover up a broken nose with makeup, the person who punched you are having a great time with that word. Amber Heard likes that word too, Zen. All right, Mad 8. She was talking about when he was helping with his rehab on his island, when she withheld his meds, and she said that her dad was addicted to drugs, so she could see the signs. Yes, but she was in charge of giving him his meds, so why did she think that she needed to withhold his meds? She was probably trying to make him suffer. Um, why they keep bringing up Marilyn Manson? I think he was part of something. I can't remember. I feel like he was brought up yesterday, but oh no, I watched a different video where Marilyn Manson was brought up, and it was just like a inappropriate situation. But I'm not sure why they're bringing it up in this trial. I must have missed that part of it. All right. The Wood Dragon Brown Curry. Is that, yeah, that's a cool name. Okay, just to plant seeds that Depp is a member of some cult. Oh, that's why they're bringing up Marilyn Manson. There is a pattern here. Yeah, I feel like a lot of celebrities are accused of being in a cult, but I don't know how that would affect um, him being an abuser. Well, they also Marilyn Manson also has a defamation case open too, um, because someone, I think an ex girlfriend or something, claimed he sexually abused her as well. So they're trying to compare. That's why. Okay, yeah, they're trying to compare him, Johnny Depp, to Marilyn Manson because they hung in the same crew, they know each other or whatever. And so since Marilyn Manson did it, then Johnny Depp must have done it too. So I see what you mean by the cult. However, Marilyn Manson is also fighting this in a lawsuit in California. He has a defamation case against the woman that said that he abused her. Oh, the pendulum swinging as when the new I think the new Me Too movement pushed one way and might go the other because they pushed so far. Yes, yeah, I can see that happening. Especially when they're trying to. I think the issue is trying to have Amber Heard as the face of Me Too. And let me tell you, I did not know of Amber Heard before this case, so I'm not a fan. I'm not a not fan. She's just coming off as disingenuous to me just from this trial. But having her as the face and the way she's telling her story, I think she wants to be that face of Me Too, but with her being the face, it may push it the other way where people do stop believing women. And there's the saying of believe all women, believe all women. If it's found that Amber Heard is lying, a lot of people are not going to believe all women anymore. So I can see what you mean by the pendulum with that. All right. The Wood Dragon Brown Curry says, quite embarrassing, really. She keeps making things up as she goes along. And then she says, I don't remember the exact sequence. So I just feel like her testimony is not reliable. And we have Gabrielle George, welcome to the live stream, saying, I think a couple jurors left because of medical issues, not 100% sure. I know one person did, like early on in the trial. I don't know if there has been more people. Me Too movement. I'm high. Sounds like you're having a good night. A Mad 8. Okay, Chad says, maybe I don't know how to articulate the legalese. Don't hold it against me. No problem. We are all here just trying to figure out what's going on. Zen says, hey, don't compare me to Amber. I'm the type of guy who would punch her. That is not okay. That is not okay. We are not condoning violence on here, Zen. We cannot punch people in the face, okay? All right. Amber Heard's legal team looking like a joke. I think Amber Heard's story is a joke, so it's very hard to represent someone when you may or may not know that they're lying. You may or may not believe their case. It's very hard because I've been in this situation trying to defend someone who you know has no chance in winning. But like I said, based on my definition of abuse, I feel like Amber does have a chance of winning. However, the way she's coming off, I don't think people are going to like her, and then she's not going to win, which is not how the law should work. But we're human, right? Zen says, LOL. The Wood Dragon says, Maryland versus Evan Rachel Wood. Yes. Yeah, that in that case is in California. So it's not a federal case like this Johnny Depp one. All right. Matt A says, I'm gonna shut up now. Right? I got you. It's Thursday night. It's Cinco de Mayo too. So happy Cinco de Mayo. I forgot to say that at the beginning of the stream. I'm going to have tacos, but I'm on a diet, so it's going to be lettuce wrap tacos. That's disappointing. So enjoy, turn up if that's what you're celebrating, Matt A. Chaz says the only pendulum that I remember is from Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, everyone had to read that in like 8th grade. Okay, Zid says the worst part about it is that people believe women less because of these crazy bees crying wolf. Yes, I can agree with you there. It could be very dangerous for women that are actually going through things. What I noticed with the Amber Heard thing goes back to what I was saying a little bit earlier in the stream. It's very, very easy to get a temporary domestic violence restraining order, which is what Amber Heard got against Johnny Depp. A lot of people going through divorces will file this restraining order in order to either be entitled to spousal support or prevent the other person from being entitled to spousal support, which is a completely ridiculous thing. I don't know why Johnny Depp did not get a prenup. I'm assuming because Amber Heard was not allowing it to happen, but yes, he should have got a prenup. He probably would not have owed her spousal support, or maybe he would not have owed her as much spousal support. But yes, like I was saying, a lot of people get these DVROs in California, and it's very easy to get, and it helps them in their divorce. So her saying that her lawyer told her to get this domestic violence order, a restraining order, likely played into how the divorce was going to play out. So it doesn't necessarily mean that she was able to prove that the things were true. Johnny Depp didn't fight it because I believe she ended up dropping the restraining order. So was it a legit restraining order? We won't know because they never litigated it. All right. Zint says, shout out to you for trolling. Is he trolling? I didn't catch it. Chad says, it seems like this is going to boil down to the court of public opinion versus the court of law. I think on YouTube, yes. However, the jurors who are the actual people that are deciding the case are not allowed to look at other things. If they are found out to have looked at things like LawTube or anything else on the internet, then they will be removed from the jury. Now, this is a 6-week trial with a week in between of no trial. So I would be very surprised if the jurors do not see anything related to this trial because it's everywhere. So you may be right. I know definitely on YouTube we're the court of public opinion, but the jurors are not supposed to be. Rich De Rosa says, did you see today's testimony? Her lawyer couldn't get past an objection for a while. I might have missed that, but I did see a lot of objections popping up, and she was beginning to get very, very frustrated. But yeah, I popped into the live stream today really late, and then I rewinded it and kind of watched it on fast forward just because I was like working. I was working all day, so I couldn't watch the trial. Zen says, I'm just saying it's self-defense. It's self-defense. I think you might have meant to split that up. Okay. If it's self-defense, it's self-defense. I'm not looking for a fight, but I'll throw down with anything that throws a punch at me. That could be very dangerous. I just hope people are not throwing punches at you there. Hey, attorneys are looking very poor. I don't know what that means. Her attorneys? Amber Heard's attorneys? I hope I don't look poor. I'm just trying to live stream. Chad says, Rich DeRosa, yes, Johnny Depp's team brought out the big guns today. Did they? I thought Cross didn't start yet. I didn't get all the way to the end of the trial today, y'all. So I might have missed that. But I thought she was still on direct. Oh, you mean with the objections? Oh, yes. Yes, they were with the good objections to that. As far as I saw, at least. My hope is you're joking, says Rich. I'm on Rich's team. I hope that you're joking as well. And if you're not joking, I would suggest to stop putting it online as the truth, okay? It is Cinco de Mayo. I have to call Javier. He cares about Cinco de Mayo for some reason. I have a feeling that that was a little bit racist. All right, you might be losing your privileges to comment. Okay. Oh yeah, because of his mom. Okay, we're gonna skip that. Mad8 says my typing was good when you first started. That took 5 minutes to type out. I can feel you on that. It's a little nerve wracking to comment live, and I can tell you it's probably 10 times worse to read live. I hate messing up on the things that you guys type, but it a lot of times it's a long day. So you might catch me stuttering, might catch a little lisp there. It is what it is. We're live, okay? Johnny doesn't, hey, you says Johnny doesn't strike me at the yelling and screaming type, as the yelling and screaming type. In the video where Johnny is shown to be slamming kitchen cabinets, he doesn't yell and scream, not even after he finds Amber's camera. Well, we don't really know because then they turn off the camera. But yeah, it didn't seem like he was yelling and screaming at her, and I would agree with you there. Maybe his actions when he throws things and slams cabinets would not be considered disturbing the peace, because if you remember in that video, you see Amber coming from a different room to where Johnny is to ask him why he's doing that or what is he mad at. So technically he was trying to get away from her. He wasn't really directing the anger at her. Was he probably angry at her? Yes. But was he slamming the cabinets to intimidate her? Maybe not. So you may be onto something there. You definitely may be onto something there. Rich De Rosa said, is it De Rosa or De Rosa? I don't know. The issues of her presentation and case is going to put back the efforts to NDV. As you mentioned, this is going to make it much harder for women and men to come forward or be believed. I think that a lot of issues, when someone is blaming someone else for something, it raises so many concerns and red flags of like whether you're going to be believed, if you're not believed, you're lying. I think that just issues of DV and any type of assault is very hard, especially when there's no one there to witness it. In this situation, they actually had people there to witness it. I think that's also going to play a role in that case. I don't remember their names, but the OnlyFans girl that killed her boyfriend said they had a lot of fights back and forth, but that the woman was the aggressor in the situation. I think that's going to be very important information if she ever gets arrested. We'll see. All right, so I'm not trolling. Okay, he's not trolling. I think it was Chaz that said it. Veronica Allison, she's still on direct. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Rich Rosa says, hey, it was also, if memory serves, the day that he found out his business manager lost 60 million. I think you're right about that. I'm not completely sure, but I think you're on the right track. Then says, what was I about trolling? I don't know. That's why I didn't catch on to it. So I'm not good at catching trolls. All right. So Jack Matt says, do you think the jury isn't going to the internet to research the case? How can they get caught? I would assume that the court will have the right to look at their search history, but you're right. They might look at it on the kid's phone or somewhere else. I highly doubt that they have not seen anything about the trial, but I think probably as long as they're not actively going and looking for it, they should pretty much be fine. And when they find it, that they're not reading it. Now, if they are, yeah, they could get removed from the jury if it is found out. Of course, you're not supposed to do it, but the court also has to find out that you're doing it. So it really just depends. Juana D, one moment. Sorry, music just walked into my house. Tanya said the judge was not in the mood for games. She was tired of Elaine. Yes, I saw that towards the end of the cross-examination. And Elaine was not here for the judge today either. She was getting very frustrated, like, no, it's a reason why we're really doing this. Chaz Focus React says, can you be called to court as a witness if Zinc goes to court for DV? I'm just kidding. They might pull this live stream, honestly. I would stop admitting those things on live, Zinc. It says, if you guys want to give specific rules about what is or is not okay, I can either follow your rules or I cannot. If you think I'm trolling, I'll just leave. I don't know if it was considered trolling, but you say you're not trolling, so I think everyone's on the same page about that now. The soap chef says, as a survivor myself, I don't believe her. That's a strong statement. That's a strong statement, but I think a lot of people are probably on your side. And I would really feel bad if it's just that she sucks at storytelling or that she has just an outrageous personality. I would really feel bad for her if it is true, but she just is not good at getting the story out. That would be super interesting to find out. But from what it looks like, it doesn't look like she's telling the truth. Sin says, if you bring me to court, we're going to get to the bottom of the issues without BS. I feel that. Matt 8 says, that's why I don't comment on other people's comments, mostly pointless. I think you're talking about the little stat that's going on. Jack Mac said, Rich DeRosa says, Jack Mac, this is an important point. What happens during the week off? They can't avoid discussions or hearing things, not to mention them possibly researching or even unintentionally viewing some of the stuff. Yes, that's going to be very interesting. I think they have to try their best to avoid it. But like I said, it's everywhere. So it's hard. I wouldn't be surprised if they have already come across some things. And you have to think about it on like Instagram. It can just pop up in front of you and you don't even know that that's what you're about to see. Hi. I'm almost done. All right. The media, I think you're just correcting something. D Rosa. Okay. Got it. D Rosa. Got to get it right. We have Maddie saying F. Hey, you saying it's hard to point Amber as a victim of domestic violence, especially after the fact that she gave Johnny a knife as a gift. Yes. And was the knife before or after he cut his finger or his finger got cut off? We don't know because the timelines of everything is just all over the place. But the soap show says, why hasn't the judge noticed or been told about the attorneys for Heard passing notes during court to the new PR guy? I did not know about that. That would have, if he's a PR guy, are you sure he's not like another attorney from their law firm? I wouldn't know. I haven't seen that or heard any information about it, so I couldn't answer that question for you. Zen says, don't even want to say anything anymore. I'm just a joke. Oh, don't take offense to it. We're all just having fun here. Okay. Hey, you says, Soap Chef, I'm sorry you had to go through that. Yes, I am also sorry you had to go through that. But I really hope that Amber Heard is not using this as an opportunity to gain sympathy when she has not really been a victim. Chad says, so the only way the jury is safe is going camping for a week, no phones, no TV, no radio. Honestly, but like I said, they will have to be found out. What are other people thinking? Have they already really made their own decisions? Do they really need the media to encourage them and change their mind? Now, who should be looking at the internet is probably Amber Heard's attorney. And honestly, I don't know if I'm speaking too soon, but I haven't heard any testimony about the Amica cream because, or the concealer packet, because the maker of the concealer packet actually came out and said that the packet did not exist at the time that Amber Heard is claiming. So I haven't heard any testimony about that. I could have possibly missed it, but they might have looked at the internet and decided to take a different route. Mad 8 says, I'ma go. Bye. Have fun. Thanks for the interaction. I'll be back. So please stream more. Yes, I stream twice a week on Tuesday and Thursday. I may start to stream more, but I do run my own law firm, so that's why I only have 2 days of streaming at this point. So I hope to catch you on the next live stream. And it's always at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or around 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the chat says, no testimony about the cream yet. Okay. Yeah, so I think they might have changed their whole approach to that because their opening argument was that, hey, we had this Amica cream, we had this packet that you can cover up all her bruises with. But like I said, I don't think that there is makeup that good that can cover. But again, I'm not a makeup artist, so maybe there is makeup that's good, that is that good. Jen says, so what doesn't make people mad? I don't know. Are you talking about your comments? I don't know. I think people just we just say things. We're all live, so I think that is all that we have. As you guys know, I have to go to the gym and I don't want to, but I'm gonna go. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everyone. Thank you for joining the live stream. I hope to catch you next week. If you want, or not if you want, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and when this live stream reposts, make sure you leave a comment to help me out in the algorithm. But I definitely appreciate all the comments, all the interactions, and I will see you guys next Tuesday.